it going, ChaniZAEA, and welcome to a video I actually really never thought I would be making, but we're here. I decided to do a little bit of a building video for today, so we will be jumping over into a speed build in a second. But the build is only using kits, obviously base game as well, but I've only used the existing kits that have been released for The Sims 4. And we're gonna just be talking about whether or not I think kits are worth it or not, so let's jump into it. So obviously kits are a new level or tier of content that was released and introduced to The Sims universe in 2021, and they're smaller than stuff packs, and they said that they would be releasing them at a quicker rate. They're kind of like the filler pieces between stuff packs, game packs, and expansion packs, and honestly, I'm going to get straight into it straight off the break. Obviously, you can see I placed all of the kit items, apart from Dust to Bust, or Bust the Dust, because I didn't see the points in placing vacuums when I was doing a build. So this build uses all of the kits except for Bust the Dust, just because that's an item. And we're busy building a tiny home here, because if you've ever been to any of my streams, you would know that I live for a good tiny home. But basically, I'm going to get straight into the thick of it and say that if you're playing on PC and you have a PC that can handle running custom content, I don't see the point of kits. I'll be completely dead honest, I do not see the point of kits. As a console player, however, I am completely obsessed with the idea of kits because it allows me to add more content into my game that I wouldn't usually have, and it gives me the ability to have more stuff. That's the only reason I have invested in the kits, it's the only reason I have bought the kits, and it's the only reason that I would say you should get the kits if you play on console. If you play on PC and you have a PC strong enough to withstand running a bunch of custom content, then I really don't see the point. They're great, like little additions for gameplay with Bust the Dust and all of those other things, but truly, if you're gonna be paying for content as a PC player, my humble opinion, unless you want all of the stuff that is in The Sims and is available in The Sims, I would rather pay for a Patreon for custom content creators to have early access to their stuff, because obviously custom content at the end of the day, due to like terms of use, you have to, custom content creators and mods need to have their stuff available for free. So what a lot of custom content creators do is they have a Patreon or a Ko-fi or whatever that is early access. So you pay for that ability to get stuff early into the game, and then they have like a public free for all at a later date. But that's my 2 cents on are kits worth it or not. As a console player without access to custom content, go for it, because it adds more stuff into the game, especially if you're looking for a specific type of style. I made a conscious effort with this build, with the tiny build. Like you can see, I'm busy using the country kitchen, cool country kitchen. I'm not even actually sure what the actual kit is called. But obviously the latest industrial loft, the pack items are there. They are gorgeous. They are stunning. There was a whole window debacle that they used false advertising for the window premiere, and then it didn't actually get launched with that window, and then we actually got a window that was very similar to base game, but they have confirmed that window will be added in a patch. We haven't seen the window yet, and all I'm going to say is it took a couple of days for custom content creators to create that window themselves. So Sims, but I made a conscious effort to try and use as much content from the kits as possible, and then obviously splurge with all of the base game content as well. I think I used debug as well, but because it's a tiny home, I'm obsessed with tiny homes. I honestly love the gameplay. Never mind just for a baby challenge like what we do on the streams right now. If you haven't watched the baby challenge stream that I'm doing, or you don't know what I'm trying to attempt, I'm trying to have as many children with one mother as possible, and we've been playing in the tiny home, so the second tier in the tiny home situation. But I tried to use as many. So here we're using the Courtyard Oasis, which honestly, some of the stuff is absolutely gorgeous for like patio furniture, and it truly brings through that very like Moroccan feel. But then obviously I try to make it suit everything else that was going on, because we've got like cool country, industrial, and all of the other things that's going on in the pack as well, or at least with the kits. But would I have bought the kits if I played on PC with custom content? Probably not. I know there's a lot that Sims 4 is missing in comparison to Sims 2 and Sims 3. We won't even go back as far as Sims 1, but I truly feel I'm a massive Sims fan at the end of the day, and I am not standing up for content that's missing. Obviously, we'll call them out when they need to be called out. Like, I was very vocal about the window situation for the industrial kit, but I don't know. I would have probably ended up buying them anyway just to have them, just to have all of the content, but is it really a value add if you have access to custom content? I don't know. But here is my gorgeous build. As you can see, I'm now doing a little bit of a landscaping. I am not a builder. I am not a landscaper. So I know there's a lot to be desired. I don't know. I get very self-conscious. I feel like I've gotten better, but I do get very self-conscious about my builds. But I wanted to kind of create this little tiny industrial, cute, cozy little lived-in space. Maybe, I don't actually even know how much this lot ends up being, but this is for like a single professional that's starting out, someone who's just moved out but has a little bit of inheritance to be able to work towards. And I don't know. I enjoyed the build. Am I busy working on a save file? Maybe. Do you want to see more speed builds in the future? Do you want to see me talking over these speed builds or not? I don't know. Do you think kits are worth it? Do you think kits are not worth it? Truly, honestly, I do not play with Bust the Dust because I personally feel that they have not gotten the balance right yet. They fixed it for a stage, and it's, personally for me, the balance is just not there. I feel like my Sims spend half of their lives vacuuming because, ugh. But this was also, I do need to mention, this was also before the Spa Day refresh updates had been released. So half of the swatches hadn't been included that we currently have now. If you want to learn more about that refresh and everything that's available there, go check it out in the description. It's one of my more recent videos. But I did try to make it as homey and as cutesy as possible. I love all of these little accents that I was able to add, because there's actually a lot in base game. I also really wanted to add like a little painting nook or painting corner with a cute little like painting stand, but then I kind of just ended up going straight with the easel anyways. I also have never had used to use that like divider. I would have loved to use something, I think it's from Dine Out. There's a massive like slatted with whole room divider in Dine Out, but obviously I was only using base game and kits here, so that is in base game. I don't know if it's built by or debug, I mean, but it's there. And oh my gosh, for a very rare occasion, Shani is using terrain tools as well, terrain paint. But yeah, that's besides the point. I am working on a save file. I don't know when it's going to be ready, and obviously for my console players, I will ensure that every single save file or every single lot is on the gallery and available there as well. I've also previously, when I had a different build video go live, a lot of people were asking me how I was lifting things like that on console. I play with a mouse and keyboard on console, so that's most of my gameplay is done with mouse and keyboard, despite me playing on a console. This build was done on a Xbox Series S, and I don't know. What do you think? Would you be keen to hear more about the save file? Would you like to see every single one of the builds being built? I don't know. It's gonna have a very strong tiny living feel, okay? It's gonna have a you're gonna just have to understand that. But also, postcards. They're one of my favorite clutter items. I love the postcards. Don't ask me why, I just do. But yeah, I thought we'd do something a little bit different this evening for my Friday video. And if you want to see more build videos in future, I think I've rambled a little bit now. But what do you think of kits? Which kits is your favorite? Which kit would you like to get? The industrial one is nice, and they will be releasing that window in a patch. Whether or not that's going to be anytime soon, I don't know. I also remember now, I was watching The Hustle while building this. I was watching a movie called The Hustle with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. She speaks Afrikaans in that movie. No, not Afrikaans. She speaks with a South African accent in that movie, and as a South African, I'm like, closest that someone has ever gotten to a decent South African accent. Short, sweet, to the point. I managed to build a build with just kits. What do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please be nice. I'm very self-conscious about my building. But anyways, this build is available on the gallery as well if you want to grab that. My gallery name is in the description below. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, ring the bell, and all of those other things. Remember that we all human differently, and I'll see you guys again soon. Dag dag.